Hello everyone, warm welcome to Business Life. Coming up, non-performing loans in Ghana's banking sector reach 5-year high of 20%. We shall be telling you what accounted for that and its impact on the banking industry. You will soon be out of jobs if foreign entities in the oil and gas transportation industry are not regulated. Association of Oil Marketing Companies cries out.
The impact is obvious. Basically, we'll be out of business. A lot of the tanker drivers and the tanker owners will be out of business. They have been sustaining this industry for so many years.
Thanks so much for your company. I am Pius Kojobaka. Let's now settle for the details. And figures from the Bank of Ghana has revealed that non-performing loans in Ghana's banking sector have surged to 20% of all loans, hitting a peak not witnessed in half a decade. Now, since October 2022, this ratio has been on a steady climb, starting at 14% and ascending by a remarkable 6 percentage points to its current level. There is more for you in this report. According to the data from the Bank of Ghana, the ratio increased by 0.9 percentage points from the previous ratio of 19.1% in July 2023, showing that 1 out of every 5 loans given is issued is not being paid back or is long overdue for interest or principal payment as of August 2023. On average, between January and August 2023, the ratio has been around 17.9%, which is higher than the average for the same period in 2020, 2021, and 2022. As per the International Monetary Fund, global standards recommend categorizing loans as non-performing when borrowers are more than 90 days late in paying back both the principal amount and interest, or when there is little expectation of receiving full payments in the future. The country recently went through a debt restructuring where government indicated an inability to repay its loans and sought to shave off part of its debts in order to secure a $3 billion loan from the IMF, of which banks took a larger part of the haircut, leading to significant losses in 2022. And we've got to bring in the views of a finance person. Joining us via phone is banking consultant Dr. Richmond Etuahini for more on this. Dr. Etuahini, thanks so much for joining us here on Business Live. First off, how alarming is this revelation, having NPLs in Ghana's banking sector surge to 20%?
Thank you very much, Pius, and good evening to your listeners and viewers. It comes as no surprise for some of us because the economic condition has been very, very harsh to businesses. Higher interest rates, higher inflation, rising prices in energy, higher interest costs, and all these things have dovetailed into the NPL. It makes it very difficult for the banks. And the second point, which a lot of people are not taking into consideration, Pius, government is the largest employer of businesses in Ghana. And if you hear about the contractors who have not been paid, if you heard of the food suppliers who have not been paid, if you heard about the vendors that have not been paid over the period, all these things dovetail into higher non-performance. So apart from the government being a part of the problem, the unfriendly economic environment is also part of the issue.
I want us to reconcile the figures we are seeing now and what the governor has been telling us that, look, the sector is buoyant and resilient. How do we reconcile the two?
Well, I don't know which sector, maybe the service sector, but not the manufacturing sector. Because I have spoken to the manufacturing, the Ghana Chamber of Commerce. I was giving a lecture to them not long ago. They all complain about these conditions that I have said. The harsh economic conditions. Interest rate is very high. Even the CD that we think is stable. I mean, the CD could have been about 8. That would have saved us. Because if you import and you turn into manufacturing, you're adding to your cost. So I cannot reconcile that statement very well. Because if a sector is resilient, one would not expect it to have recorded the highest non-performance over almost half a decade. And this started coming from, I think, 2017 to 2018, the non-performing has been going up. But it has gotten worse because if you look at the IMF, contractors not paid. We are talking about huge sums of money which is still out. And they all took this money from the banks. And the banks are required to do provision to show the non-performing current, OLEM, NAFO, losses, and what have you. And that is what has actually come into play in what we see today. And it's not going to get easy, Pius. It's not going to get easy. It's going to get tough and tougher and tougher until the economic conditions actually improve. And until the government who owns all these contractors who are taking risks. I mean, we saw the food suppliers, those who were supplying food, the buffet. You saw the demonstration. All these things have been captured in the non-performance. That is why we see this, and we're going to go up from where I sit.
I don't know what you make of this, but for some analysts, this is an indication that huge concessions are not being refinanced by borrowers, a situation they say is detrimental to the health and efficiency of the banking sector. Do you agree with them?
Yeah, you see, when we did the DDEP, we came clearly to tell you that it's going to affect credit. Because the reason being is that the banks are supposed to lend to make money. Unfortunately, the economy is such that, and also they have suffered even solvency issues. So how are they going to give money to people? So refinancing alone, extending loan facilities is going to be a challenge. And all these things would appear in the NPLs that we are seeing.
Dr. Richmond Etuahini, we've got to get out of this. What is the way out?
Well, until the economic condition improves. That's the first thing. We've had it before. I mean, in the 80s, we had this challenge. But when the economic condition improved, I mean, if you go and check, I think, 2006, 2008, we had the lowest non-performing, I think, 6%. Because the economic condition was okay, inflation was okay, interest rate was down. But as we see now, interest rate is not going to get down. Because the way government is borrowing and borrowing and borrowing and borrowing, it makes it very difficult for the bank to get cheap money. What we call crowding out. The treasury bills that the government is crowding out the bank of deposit utilization. And therefore, that cost will have to come into play when you're lending into money. And that will lead, there is a correlation between that leads into higher non-performing loans. So I'm not worried because I'm not deterred because we saw it some time ago and it's now coming back. I mean, next quarter, it will possibly go to 24.
I see. Dr. Richmond Etuahini, we are indeed grateful for your time here on Business Live, sharing your perspective with us on the back of the non-performing loans, which we have been told has increased by some 20%. All right, we shall keep an eye on that and, of course, update you in our subsequent bulletins as well. But let's do this story. The Association of Oil Marketing Companies is pushing the National Petroleum Authority to come clean on the foreign participation in fuel transportation. This is coming after some local tanker drivers raised concerns about Chinese firms operating the space meant for indigenous companies. Chief Executive Officer of the association, Kweku Ajimanduya, says his members will be out of business if the NPA doesn't resolve the issue soon.
Some who are trying to infiltrate into our ranks and getting to work on our, as it were, teach the tanker owners who have been holding our products for us. And we have over 5,000 tankers now. And even that, we realize that our industry is choked. So what a tanker can do within a certain period to be able to recover costs, we have to do all this. So for another set of tankers to come from somewhere, obviously it's going to make the business very not viable for us. The impact is obvious. Basically, we'll be out of business. There are a lot of the tanker drivers and the tanker owners will be out of business. They have been sustaining this industry for so many years. And I haven't heard anywhere, and I don't know unless I'm corrected, countries where foreigners hold their petroleum products. Remember, petroleum products are strategic issues. There's also security issues. So you don't really allow anybody from anywhere to just be doing that job.
The Data Protection Commission is set to embark on another enforcement exercise as it continues its clampdown on unregistered data collectors. Now, the Commission began active enforcement last month, conducting spot checks, data protection audits, and arresting companies found culpable of data breaches. This activity, the Executive Director, Patricia Idukse-Puku, says, has come to stay in order to hold accountable data controllers to ensure full compliance with the law.
In the Data Protection Commission, still consider that the percentage of the public who are responsible for registering as data controllers compared to what is in our database is still very, very low. We have over 800,000 records of active tax-paying entities that have failed to register with the Commission. And this is why we have scaled up our mandate to enforce the law by doing these spot checks and visiting institutions that are falling foul of the requirements of this legal obligation. We are doing a two-pronged approach. Many of these spot check visits are to the private sector and some NGOs. We are not doing this to protect the public sector and not taking action. We have also worked with our Select Committee of the Parliament for Communications, who are inviting defaulting public sector entities to go before the Parliamentary Select Committee for Communications to answer for why they haven't taken action. And this is what Parliament has directed that we do as a commission, that we let the public sector entities who are definitely in the know of what is right to do and not doing it to report directly to Parliament. The CEOs of these entities are having to report to Parliament why they haven't taken action. And that's their enforcement action. And then we are doing spot checks in the private sector to also understand why there's a high level of default.
In more news, owners of Montgomery Private Residence and Golf Center has begun a series of exhibition activities aimed at promoting and connecting small businesses to potential buyers across the country. Known as the Hills Vent Fair, the event brings together local artisans in fashion and beauty, food and other forms of entrepreneurship drive. Assistant Event Manager Angela Ijewa-Buedu told Joy Business that the event is not only meant for sales but socialization. Here is a report from the maiden event in Accra.
Hills Vent Fair is more than just an event. It is a celebration of innovation, creativity, and community bonding. As the largest gathering of local entrepreneurs, artisans, and businesses, the fair promises a diverse array of products, services, and experience that truly reflects the spirit of the country. Assistant Event Manager Angela Ijewa-Buedu has been explaining to Joy Business.
Today's event is mainly about small vendors coming together to showcase their businesses or their products and also to meet new customers. So why you have to be here is because we have amazing discounts for each and everybody, and also anything you purchase here. You don't want to miss amazing discounts from all the vendors you have here. Also, we have quad bikes, golf course, and a whole lot of activities going on here. So it's not only about shopping, but having fun and then connecting with new people.
Meanwhile, some of the exhibitors also expressed excitement and called for more of such initiatives.
I just wanted to have a try. I've heard of fairs and all that, so I just decided to have a try and join this, and see how it turns out. Maybe next time I'll do again,
So what kind of stuff do you have on sale?
Okay, I have men's casual fits. I did men's casual fits, like some like in a Lacoste form, in a t-shirt form,
So because of Hills Vent Fair, we've reduced all our prices. We are having a serious, massive sales over here. So things you could be buying for, let's say, 300 cedis, we're getting it for, let's say, 250 or 200 cedis. We have like 3 panties going for 50 cedis, 2 underwears going for 50 cedis, and normally you wouldn't get it for that price. But we just want to run sales for this particular event. I mean, it's not that bad. I got sales in the morning. I went somewhere, I just came back. So I'm hoping to get a lot of sales. I mean, there are people here, and anywhere money and people are, there's money. So we are hoping to get sales by the end of the day, but it's not been bad,
And that's it for Business Live for today. We've got